Whoop. Do I count that? I didn't mean to click random, but I did click random. If I got one I didn't want, I'm not sure if I would feel bad about it, but I got SMG, which is the one I most want. We're just gonna run it, I guess. Alien Cheese, hey Strap, hey Belak, Polymerization, hello, hey Krusty Magog, hey Batlow, hey DKV, and Unite. You pretty often pronounce you as yorbs. Like the word you. It's nice to see yorbs. Like that. I don't remember what this potato actually does. Like, obviously you take a damage every second. Sure, I get that. 12 max HP, 25% lifesteal, can't HP regen. Okay. I believe I just shoot things with SMGs and then I win. GG. Was a music VOD input fixed? Let me make sure. But I believe yes. Looks like it. Pronounce JORBS as yorbs. Got it. You are not the only one. JORBS. Sun Glitters. Sun Glitters famously pronounces yorbs as yorbs. JORBS as yorbs. Oh god, I did it again. I never remember that I need to change the going live notification. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to mislead you, I'm just incompetent. Potato name display. Alright. I like this song. This song is a jam. Manipulative clickbait streamer confirmed. I'm thinking about deleting, like, the internet. Just not having the internet anymore. Every time that I look at a thumbnail on the internet, I consider just never making a thumbnail again. Although I like the thumbnails for ManyJorbs that Hannah's been making. I think they're great. Maybe I'll go more for that thumbnail style. Don't know if any of you have seen those, but I think they're pretty good. I do want ranged damage. Let's just lock and grab this scope. Next wave. Generally, SMGs with a character who is good with SMGs are just, like, very, very, very free win. So, don't expect this one to be too tough. YouTube Jorbs look as ironic in camp, don't worry. Oh, I don't worry, I just dislike it. It just makes me feel kind of bad. I guess I don't want this because I have minus 100 HP regen. It's a little ambitious to try to get from there to... well, +1 would be the first time it did anything. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I've been having a lazy day. I've been watching Masters of the Air or something like that. I don't know. The one that's trying to be Band of Brothers, but for pilots. I've been struggling to get into it because for me, a lot of the appeal of Band of Brothers, I think, was that it was set in different parts of Europe as they went through the European theater of the war. I don't know, it's like okay. Like fine. What else have I been getting up to? I think this instantly kills me. I guess I'll buy bag. I've become a bag person recently. I look very comfy. I am having a comfy day. My girlfriend is out of town, but she'd made me freezer burritos, and they are so good. And I have been eating them. Who knew that having an interest in cooking food could result in you and the people around you getting to eat delicious food? Kind of a wild idea. Wish you had a freezer burrito? I feel like you could probably make it so that was the case. It might take a little bit of work. With SMGs, we really want flat range damage. We want to get to like 20 flat range damage. That's where a lot of the starting damage from SMGs comes from. But there aren't that many items that give flat range damage, so, you know. I will either get one or I won't. The way to a person's heart is definitely through their stomach. I think actually like just below the second rib works a little bit more efficiently if you have a, you know, a blade. I feel like you would need a very long blade to get there through the stomach. Dark. I mean, that's the joke, isn't it? Isn't that the joke? It's a lie told by chefs to sell more food. Supposedly. Should I save this for next wave? I could just do it now. Cyberball seems okay, especially with the extra luck. I'm pretty sure I read the way to someone's heart is through their stomach joke in like some 1970s British publication for the first time. So I'm pretty sure that one's been around for a while. Also, I read Lord of the Rings, a parody of Lord of the Rings. It was published before I was born, I'm pretty sure, so like, we've been making parodies of that IP since before I was a human being. And it had one of the best jokes that I've ever read in my life in it. Bilbo is looking at Gollum and thinking about killing him, but pity stays his hand. And then it gives you the internal monologue of Bilbo and says, "Pity I don't have any more bullets." And you're just like, mm. It was probably just like the first joke like that I read or something. Objectively, I don't think it's that funny, but I mean. Best Star Wars movie at JORBS. Andor. Andor is the best Star Wars movie. It is a very long movie, but it is the best one. I have an affinity for quirky takes on old sayings that like create some sort of ironic reversal. It is amusing. The best sort of humor. Like just today, for example. I retweeted a little joke about how male bees die after mating, and so their entire life is Honey Nut Cheerio. It's probably not that funny, but on the other hand, it kind of is that funny. Hey, Samwise. Are bees British? I think that one is. Also, maybe? I think they're from Europe. Bees. Are they? I don't know. Where are bees from? Did New Zealand have bees before Europeans came to New Zealand? I feel like it can't have. Or maybe it did, I don't know. There are native bees in New Zealand. Wow. Okay. Bees are old. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we have native wasp species, but bees are non-native. Which I think is kind of interesting. I don't need more speed than 7, probably. And I bought the Pocket Factory, so the engineering on... What are these? Handcuffs? Shackles? Shackles. Engineering on shackles is valuable. I want knockback? Sure, why not? I want that probably. This is fine. Smaller and less colorful. Huh. Next time I'm back, I should pay more attention to the bees. Bees are so... They're so, like, heavily represented in one specific way in media. But I feel like I don't conceptually understand that there are different types. Even though there are different types. Ah! Look, I thought I got hit by that. Australia has all the scary bugs. In New Zealand, we just have pests. Probably true. I don't know. I don't think Australia has all of them. I think some other countries have a few. A horde will appear. Twitch is not letting you post your musings. Oh, now you can. Gosh, were they all that interesting? Or... What were your musings, May? Please, may I have to know. You miss when it was still funny to make Cake Middleton missing jokes on Twitter. Was it funny, though? Like, wasn't... Like, what other explanations were there, actually? I don't know. like, the only explanation pretty much was that there was some sort of thing going on in her life that made her want to stay away from social media. I guess the one good joke I saw was her being on a World of Warcraft bender. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, in general, it was kind of like, meh. I don't know. This is my opinion. You think it was actually funny? Fair enough. Maybe just keep doing it. Maybe it's still funny. I don't know. Don't let people tell you what to do, May. Only one way to find out. I think I've kind of given up on Twitter. It's just reached a point where, I don't know, it's kind of unusable to me at this point. I have ended up in some sort of online social media space where I receive updates from crypto scammers, and a bunch of people sharing live video of a genocide. And overall, it's not the most fun place to hang out. Not the vibe. Yeah, really not the vibe. Gabriel. Social media only feeds you what you interact with. That is not really true. That claim breaks in several different directions. Should we have a funeral for Twitter together? Like a celebration of life. I think that could be kind of nice. I think I might need an event to help me, you know, move on. Hey, Josh. Ow. People did the thread of best tweets of all time. Yeah, maybe I should, like, boot up the stream one day and we could just read through this thread of best tweets of all time. And, then play closing time. Cry a bit. And move on with our lives. What's that song about? I hope you had the time of your life. We could play that one. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. Who's that by? I feel like I haven't heard that song since I graduated high school. Green Day? Yeah, that seems very believable. Should should be socially acceptable to have celebration of life ceremonies for more non-living things. Absolutely. Say you want to quit WoW, hold a celebration of life, and help people move on. I think this is genuinely a good idea. I do not hate it. I don't think we need a medical turret, do we? We have so much lifesteal. But if I kill everything too fast, and I can't lifesteal anymore because everything I could shoot is dead. A more active Ides of March approach. There are a few things that could mean. We did miss it this year, unfortunately. Just too bad, I guess. I just take 1 range damage, honestly. Might be okay there. More cyber balls. This is an elite wave. Ooh, that one's fancy. Oh. Just a second. Somewhere there's a setting. Always publish VODs. Alright, I might have to reset the stream after this run. It's like Blobfish if it wasn't a card game. This is a lot like Blobfish. It is a video game. And it's probably age restricted in some stores, I'm guessing, because it has guns. And I have played it. Do you believe in nominative determinism? Did you think that because this game was called Brotato, it was always going to be about potatoes? And because Balatro is the Latin word for jester, it was always going to be comically bad? I I should stop being mean to Balacho. I should stop being mean to Balacho. Your boyfriend is at his boy toy's house, so you've got your cat all to yourself tonight. That is slightly more information than I needed about your relationship with your boyfriend. May as well be mean to Belatro. One of the weird things about the modern world is that so much of the injustice in our world is deliberately obfuscated. Like the person who writes the lines of code that do the evil thing is not actually the person who paid for the lines of code to be written. I may not even know that the lines of code end up doing an evil thing. And as such, it's like really hard to feel good about being mean to people sometimes. That's the thing I think about sometimes. Like a lot of our societal understanding of how to right wrongs is to just like punch the person responsible in the face. Not perhaps in the modern world, but like in terms of like anthropological societies of human beings. And it just doesn't work quite as well anymore when like a company like Amazon exists. The thing that Balatro existing makes me think about, like, the wrong that I think exists in Balatro is, like, slot machines. Slot machines, I think, are transparently evil. They're like mustachioed, comic book villains, slot machines. Did I read some books about abolitionism? Lots of thoughts about how to not punch people in the face. I was raised on Christian ethics at some point in my life, I think. Not sure it was the best idea, but I was not involved in the decision-making process. Why am I getting offered 700 mice? So many mice. Do I think a casino poker is almost as evil as a slot machine? Here's the thing, I've been in like 2 casinos in my life. Spending time in a casino makes me want to like curl up in a ball and die. So I don't have that many thoughts about how casinos work. They're like something that I've read about for the most part. Easy win! What does Christian ethics mean to me? To someone who grew up in Europe, that doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, I think the consequences that are bad of Christian ethics are largely seen outside of Europe. Although I think you see quite a few of them in Europe. Let me try restarting the stream. Well, actually, is the VOD publishing now? Hold on. Content. Yeah, it's there. Okay. We're fine. We don't have to restart. Farmer! Oh, Farmer's sweet. Farmer's a whole lot of fun. Although, I don't entirely know how to play Farmer unless you start with exactly Pruner, which spawns a garden that creates a fruit every 15 seconds. If you read what Farmer does, harvesting increases by an additional 3% at the end of each wave, plus 1 harvesting when picking up a consumable at maximum health. That's like the only thing that I understand Farmer to do. So if I don't get Pruner here, Hand. Well, Hand is very bad. Okay. I haven't played a whole lot of Hand Farmer in my life. I'm guessing I've played about 0 to 1 runs of Hand Farmer. You have a healthy relationship with video poker. You put $5 on when you're drinking alone at a specific bar and expect to lose it all. Carados? Carados. I don't mean to, like, come after you specifically. But, like, really? No part of what you just said sounds healthy, Carados. But I mean, what do I know? Hand does give us harvesting. That's true. I'm gonna take melee. Pruner. Thank you. Alright. Alright, let's just do this. I guess that is a nice thing about Hand, is that it's a support item. They have concerts at that bar and you're terminally early. Ah, you're there for work. Still not convinced that that seems healthy. It's fine, Hannah. The VOD exists. Nice smaller. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Turn the other cheek and love thy neighbor seems okay. Well, yeah, there's like the things that somebody says and then the things that somebody does, right? My pruners are almost fully operational. What's the line in Star Wars? My fully operational battle station or something like that. Like, I don't think hypocrisy, for example, is a great ethical system. Anyway, I'm not trying to say that I have a better solution at the moment or anything. Let's grab a medical turret. Next wave. Oh my. There went all of my health. You like the idea of limited absolute monarchy anarchism? That was 2 words too many for me. Unfortunately. I don't mean like I disagree with the idea, I mean it got too complicated for me, so I gave up trying to understand. Anyone who is designated royalty has absolute legal authority within 100 meters of themselves, and the rest of the world is anarchist. Okay. Wonderful. I think that we think our ethical systems are great when stuff is going well, and then sometimes it doesn't go well, and that's kind of interesting to me. Feels like different people react to that in different ways. Also, things going well does not justify your ethical system. Things going well for you may not mean things are going well for the people around you. The most fascinating thing a hash function can generate is a collision, etc. Wow, I do not know what that means either. Something delightful about a small handheld garden, tools being as good as slaying aliens as SMGs. I don't think they're quite as good. They're like fine. They're pretty bad weapons, it's just I get a ton of harvesting, so I have like twice as much money as I should. I haven't really scaled up yet. This is a character that massively outscales the game when played like this, but at this point in the run, I'm actually kind of weak. Most interesting part of any system is when it fails. The biggest heads on Easter Island were built right before everyone died. Pretty cool, huh? I read Collapse by Jared Diamond, right? Is that a Jared Diamond book? Given what I think of his other books, maybe I should reconsider whether it was a good book or not. At the time, I felt it very compelling, though. More damage would be good. Ooh, more damage. I read the Dictator's Handbook. I have not. Would it help me run the stream? Farmer is very soothing, though. I do like having my gardens. My bad behavior is almost always good politics. I mostly just feel confused. How to mentally handle it is really interesting, Karados. People react to things in very different ways. And when you have a fairly contiguous culture based around something that has been quite stable for a long time, and then things start changing, and really anyway, I feel like people react to that very differently. I don't actually have it all worked out. I'm just sad that Twitter's dead. You're going on a date tomorrow. Any ideas about interesting questions to ask? I think the most important thing is maybe have a couple of conversation starters in mind, but you gotta let the conversation travel away from what you have planned. Interviewing people is a skill. And it's largely a skill about identifying which things about a person are important to them, and identifying how comfortable they are about talking about them, and like which ones they're comfortable talking about, and how much. Because often the things that are important to people are not things that they are that comfortable talking about. Anyway, I'm not saying that going on a date has to be like an interview, but that felt like how you asked the question. I feel weird that I'm not getting a bunch of attack speed, because I feel like I'm using boost flints here. I guess I'm getting a bunch of materials, which they can then spend on attack speed. That works for me. Listening is a huge thing. If you're thinking about what you're going to say while someone is talking, it comes across. If you're just thinking about what you're going to say when someone is talking, it comes across. Yes. Or, worst of all, if you are, like, talking over someone before they have even finished what they are saying. Like, you are just very clearly not considering what they have to say and how to respond in such a situation. People would generally like you to listen to what they're saying. I have purchased a peacock. I'll try not to die this wave. I'm interested in and love talking about functional programming. Hey, where are you going? I mean, there are a lot of other people in the world. Okay. First off, there are a lot of other people in the world who are interested in talking about functional programming and interested in functional programming. That's point the first. Point number two, though, is that even if someone isn't interested in talking about functional programming, there are also a lot of people who are interested in finding out why something is interesting to you, even if it's not interesting to them. And, like, it isn't that unreasonable to expect somebody who you continue dating to fulfill at least one of those two. Ooh, I got improved tools. Qualities? Qualities? Probably qualities. That's probably a decent word to use for it. I want this? I don't even get more stuff from enemies. I guess I don't. Should you make cinnamon buns? Yes, you should make cinnamon buns. This playlist available. It is just an internet radio station built off of Mike Snow. Or sorry, Mike Snow. There are two I's in a row. I'm not really sure what you're meant to do with that. Mike Snow. Maybe? Could be. I think what you don't want to be, and I think this is what actually people might run into a lot when like sharing their hobbies results in people noping out. What you don't want to be is someone who, like, there's a term for it from improv. I think a lot of people hard know themselves. If I'm like, what are you interested in? And you say, I'm interested in functional programming. I think it's really cool. And I've been fascinated by it since I was a kid. That's like an opening to all sorts of further questions I can ask and things I can be interested in the conversation. You are communicating to me that you are interested in something and that there are a bunch of other things we could talk about surrounding it. Cool. If you say, if you like roll your eyes and say, oh, I'm a bit of a nerd, I spend most of my time thinking about boring things like functional programming, like you're just killing the conversation. For me to be engaged with you, you have to be willing to let someone be engaged with you. That is a thing I have noticed people with, like, nerd-adjacent hobbies doing sometimes. And it is just not necessary. Being a nerd's cool. Is the stream blinking light and dark over and over for anyone else? Not for me. Not for me. What's the point of attracting someone who doesn't like/support your interests? Absolutely. One of the things that I feel has made me like a healthier individual in all sorts of ways is meeting people who date nerds. We're not necessarily nerds themselves, but like when I was like a teenager and my friends didn't have girlfriends yet, I was the first of my friend group to like get a girlfriend, and it was fine, whatever, so on, yeah, whatever. But in general, like, I didn't know a ton of people who wanted to date people like me and my friends, and when my friends and I talked about dating, we would largely talk about, like, how do I be like someone who people would want to date, with the mistaken belief that people would want to date somebody different from what we were like. But now that I am older, a bunch of my friends are like married and have kids, and they're still giant nerds. Also, I'm a Twitch streamer, so a lot of my new friends are like even bigger nerds than my friends were in high school. And getting to talk to the people who date and love these other humans is so lovely because you find out things that are really, like, sexy and appealing about yourself in somebody else's eyes, which, like, you didn't really know could be sexy and appealing. Anyway, it's great. I highly recommend it. And I would like you to all know that you are handsome, beautiful, attractive nerds. JORBS parasocial. That is a lot of dots and lines on my screen. Fortunately, I don't seem like I take damage. So I guess I'm just fine. I wonder if I can just walk through the elites yet. That's probably your password for something, HSPS. I'm going to delete the message for you and recommend that you change whatever password that was. You may be handsome and beautiful, but you're not a fucking nerd. Jorbs bless. You were so fucking embarrassed about all your dog sports stuff and how much you love your dogs. Turns out that was an attractive trait, and now you're married to that person. Yeah, I mean... yeah, I mean... loving dogs is, not gonna be a hard sell in the dating market, I don't think. I think you may find it is not that hard to find like-minded people for that one. I've almost exclusively dated fellow gamers before. I have a bunch of friends who are gigantic nerds who date people who do not game at all. And those people they date find them very attractive and lovable and wonderful. So, like, yeah, it's like being, like, logical, thoughtful, invested in something, happy, like, none of these things are undesirable to someone who's thinking about maybe dating you. I don't think. Not usually. Now we gotta be happy. I mean, when you play games, are you not happy? You gotta stop playing League of Legends. That's really on you. Poor Balatro. Fucking Balatro. Yeah. Alright, so that one's on me. That's fine. I have 1,000 harvesting. I have not been doing a good job against this elite recently. Oh, I think I actually got hit by that at the end. Alright, this time it went a bit better. Being impossibly strong helped. Did I say start or stop? You're just going to assume I said start and see where it takes you? It is possible to play League of Legends and have fun. It actually is a possible thing. Maybe you'll be the first person to work out how to do it. No, there are plenty of people who enjoy playing MOBAs. League is just being the butt of my jokes because, you know, League. Play with 4 friends and it's chill. Depending on the friends, depending on the friends. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. I don't actually know what my build is. I am kind of just buying random shit. But if it works, it works. How do you get 4 friends in the first place? Oh, well that's the great thing. League of Legends has solo queue. And if you queue up in solo queue, you'll be paired with 4 people on your team. And by default, because they are on your team, those people will be your friends. It's like a situationship, but for friends. What would you call that? I don't know. Movement of the blobfish is strange. It's because my movement is strange and they tether to me. They move like I do. Or at least they try to. Happy to see some comfy Brotato after I got a pre-roll ad for Fox News. Holy shit. You what? I'm sorry. Yikes. Yeah, that's rough. I am not consulted about the ad choices for my channel, but I do feel like that's probably a poor one. Carados, thanks for gifting a sub to Trailcast. Maybe we lean more into gifted subs for a while. It is an election year. Maybe I'll do a subathon and we can see how many people we can get subbed. I've never done a subathon before because it seems extremely unappealing. Because it just doesn't seem like it would be enjoyable or even good. But maybe I'm wrong. Brown Socks, thanks for the 18 months. I often think about doing a subathon. It's like the FOMO thing, right? Because you see other people doing subathons. For those of you who are not on Twitch, people will set a timer. And the timer will start ticking down to 0, but then it will go up by like a minute every time somebody subs or something. And then people will end up streaming for approximately ever. It tracks it, I would be one of the last people you'd expect to actually run a subathon. Something that I found was that increasing the amount of money that I made from stream sponsors and decreasing the amount of money that I made from viewers. So you would think I would think. I at first thought that doing that would make me serve my viewers worse, because they're not where my money is coming from. And I think there are principles of economics that suggest that that's true. But the world of content is just so fucked up. If you're trying to make money from your viewers in the world of content, it isn't necessarily the case that that's going to be by serving them better. In fact, often I think it's by serving them worse. Like, you try to get more of a viewer's attention and convince them to spend money while they are enjoying an entertainment broadcast. And neither of those things are necessarily synergistic with serving your viewer. Hey, not DT. You run! Ghost. Oh, I like Ghost. What do I start with? Flint. So what I found was that when I stopped trying to make money off of my viewers and started focusing more on just making the content that I liked and thought my viewers liked, and then having stream sponsors who would pay me as well, was that I felt like my relationship with my viewers was a lot healthier. Am I suggesting that the moral implications of manipulation are dubious? I am. Hammerburger. Duran, thanks for the 68 months. Appreciate it. Curating sponsorship seems like a good way to go. I agree. Ghost gets plus 10 damage with ethereal weapons, 30% extra dodge. Dodge is kept at 90%, but we have minus 100 armor. Minus 100 armor about doubles how much damage you take, I think? Something like that. So, like, generally what we're going to do here is just take the ethereal weapons because they deal plus 10 damage. And then we're going to hope that I can dodge the attacks. Also, I would like harvesting. Cool. Exasperated cultist. I look snug today. I feel snug today. It's a comment on the concept of commodification of parasocial relationships. It is a lot of flints to start with. I will just end up with 2 of each of them, probably. Generally, what I end up feeling best about with ghost weapons is 2 of each. More harvesting. Ooh, gentle alien? I'm gonna lock that. But I do think gentle alien's very good with ghost weapons, so I will plan to buy it soon. It makes sense to upgrade ghost weapons before getting all 6 weapons. Is it easier for 1 weapon to kill 19 enemies? Sorry. Is it easier for 2 weapons to kill... I've said this very badly. Is it easier for 2 weapons to kill 19 enemies each, or for 1 weapon to kill 34 enemies? There you go. It took me a while, but I got there eventually. I think the answer is fairly obvious. You can conceptually have situations where it makes sense to combine early, but it's not like a default assumption that makes sense to make. It's easier for 1 weapon to kill 38 enemies than for 2 weapons to kill 40 total, so you get more stats. Right, that except exactly the opposite conclusion. Ah! I watched an episode of Shogun. I don't know why there's a white guy in it. Feels weird. I want to hear about the Shogun, not the white guy. But like, a major part of the first episode was about the white guy. So what the fuck is going on? Anyway, I don't know if anybody else has watched that show. Let me know if I should keep watching it. Is he Dutch or Portuguese? He's actually English. You have bad news for me about the rest of the show? Yeah. I kind of thought that might be the case. Is it based on the Clavel book? I have heard it is. Oh, I'm sure the white guy plays an important role in the show about Japan. I am familiar with Western media. that vibes precisely with my expectations of Western media. The show cover the black samurai that became Edamio's headman by being 6'2" and an unbelievable badass. I hope so. See, that seems cool. I want a show about that. Hey, Fred Frost! Portuguese and Spanish played an important role in Japan with the introduction of Christianity. Uh-huh. You are right. Do I try to get armor to more than -100? I don't think I bother. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really do much to buy armor at the moment. Are you referencing the James Bond movie? Fish? I listened to a decent chunk of the podcast about all the James Bond movies. Abigail Thorne's in that, right? I forget what it's called. But they watch all the James Bond movies and then talk about what's uniquely bad about each one, and it's just lovely. It's just a great time. Kill James Bond, yeah, that one. The marginal gain in survivability when trying to buy your way out of huge negative armor is real bad. Yeah, that is very believable to me. So I guess we will just have to vibe with very negative armor. Oh well. I can survive by having lots of max HP. Also, I guess buying wheelbarrow is kind of free. That's neat. Can I not buy this, actually? I could sell something to buy it. Weird. I guess I sell my bad ghost flint maybe to buy it next wave. I should get my dodge up. Your friend's partner is on Kill James Bond. Really? Cool. Yeah, I listened to like probably a third of the episodes or something. I enjoyed it. I do not think I will finish it. But that's not because I didn't enjoy it. It's because I have moved on to other things. Like watching one episode of shows on Apple TV and then deciding that they're bad. It's important to have variety in your media consumption. You always mix up flint and axe. Which one is attack speed? The axe is damage, the flint is attack speed. Wait, can I now? No, I still can't. I can. I can do that and then this. Okay. You've never seen the name of this song or the artist. Crave You by Flight of Facilities. I could not have told you that. I feel like doing bar trivia, but I don't feel like going to a bar. Can y'all just ask me trivia questions and I'll tell you what the answer is? I bet some of you have good trivia. We as a channel can try to guess the answers. What is the capital of Assyria? Don't know. What was the capital of Assyria? No idea. How many time zones are there in Russia? Oh my god, I just read this. 13, I think. Or 11. What is your birthday? Don't know. Give me a mod that makes every wave wave 9. Which metal ingredient is the main ingredient in white paints? No idea. What shape can be seen on Saturn's North Pole? Mustache Man. What StarCraft mod eventually led to the creation of the game Dota? I don't know, but I knew it was a StarCraft mod. What caused the decline and fall of the Roman Empire? A variety of complex factors. In what game is the good shot named after John Good? A technical term. Halo? It's Titanium. Which actor played James Bond only once? I don't know. I know literally none of these things. How many times do you have to adjust your clock when crossing the border? How much do you have to adjust your clock when crossing the border between Afghanistan and China? Doesn't it depend? Is there only one time zone on the Afghan-China border? It's probably a very large amount, like 6 hours? 5 hours? $13, Mr. Bucket, maybe. All right, no more trivia. It turns out I don't actually like this at all. This was fun though, by which I mean I hated it. What did I just buy? I did not intend to buy that. Whoops. Baby with an beard. It originated in Warcraft as well, not StarCraft. Oh wow, it was a trick question. Dota was the mod. Oh, what a diabolical trick question. I can't believe that Twitch chat would trick me like that. It's cool how whether I win or lose this run is largely just whether I dodge successfully or not. I wonder if I will. I don't mean like dodge the incoming enemies, I mean like roll a 9 and less on a 10-sided die. I'm gonna take 3% speed, because I'm very slow. I didn't lock baby with a beard? That is bold. That's bold. Love that. Eon of Strife in StarCraft. What if I told you that the only video game is chess? And every other video game is just a chess mod? Minus 19, huh? Okay, so I can actually take 3 hits and, well, I can take 2 hits and still be alive. It takes 3 hits for me to die. Which is honestly more than I thought it would. And I have 90% dodge. And I have adrenaline, and I have 96% dodge. I am deliberately not taking baby with a beard because I want my ghost weapons to get the kills, which is like, I don't know if that's right or not. It's probably not right. Roguelike chess is just a cheap, simpleton version of Polytopia. It doesn't even have a fog of war. You want an updated music link. You want one that doesn't go to Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley? But why? But why? Sad Tomat, sure. It's kind of weird. It's okay though, probably. I have one of each ghosts up there. Nice. Real-time games are just turn-based games with really fast turns. The game dev story about that is that Diablo was once a turn-based game, and then they made the turns shorter and shorter and shorter, and then they realized it was just fun if it was real-time. But yeah, that's kind of a thing. You can also abstract the real-time game into turns. And sometimes the turns can be quite long. Like you can say, for this minute, this League of Legends turn did all of the things required to achieve this objective. And the turn there is a minute long. I am not entirely sure what I'm meant to click on anymore. I'm about to die to an elite. I would like to click on that, I guess. Ooh. I got the one that makes ads for you to kill. So you get up to half health as quickly as you can, and then you just run around dodging things as it spawns a billion enemies to feed your ghost weapons. There are a lot of them. Did that say minus 36? We're okay, we're okay. We're fine. I don't hate lifesteal. I think lifesteal's okay. I think Eternal Egg or Eternal Luchador is better. Egg. Good chat. Am I a Horde Wave or a Boss Wave? Yes, Knife Elite. I think it's neither. It's not a super threatening elite, and also it doesn't make as many enemies as are in a Horde Wave. In a Horde Wave, you actually like get overwhelmed. It just makes a bunch of very small enemies who are easily killed. I have no respect. No respect for that elite. Do I want another ghost axe? I guess I don't. I guess it's fine. Do I want more ghost scepters? So often at some point in your... I'm gonna go for it. Often at some point you can switch to having more scepters, because you actually just reach a point where everything dies before it reaches you anyway. I don't know if we were at that point yet, but I decided to go for it. Also, I just like having high max HP. I just think it's fun. Panic or Fall Out Boy? What do we think? Don't look. Don't look at the band. Get your guesses in. I think ooh, I think it's late Panic at the Disco. Hey, I was maybe right. I don't know whether it's late Panic at the Disco or not. Panic at the Disco are problematic. didn't know that. Do you think maybe a lot of the things we're doing are problematic? The singer was toxic enough to make everyone quit the band. That's so high school drama. That's so extremely high school. I just skipped plus 180% attack speed. You know, I don't build dodge often, and it didn't occur to me that this was the circumstance in which that item was good. I should probably have bought that now that you pointed out. I do think I'll be okay regardless. I definitely didn't, like, read it, acknowledge what it did, and then choose not to buy it. I definitely, definitely just didn't even read it. Jetpack. Sure. I will be so fast. I will be so fast. Tardigrade's okay. Probably. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Can I make the medical turret miss me? Is that possible? I'm not sure I can. That'd be kind of funny if you could, though. Hoodie Jorbs is on autopilot. A win is a win. Yeah, I already have a hoodie. Why would I need to buy one in the game? Checkmate, Twitch chatters. The turret misses you if you play Renegade. Renegade's the one that makes it shoot lots of things at once. That makes sense. I understand why that would happen. I think it's a first, Twitch chat. You don't know how to play chess, so I can't checkmate you. I can't checkmate you in turn-based chess, but I can checkmate you in real-time chess. Real-time chess exists. Yeah, I'm playing it at the moment. You're currently watching me play real-time chess. Shoots 6 alien eyes around you every 3 seconds, dealing 262 damage each. Now I just stand inside these enemies, and they instantly die. I'm not brave enough to actually stand inside them. I'm a coward. Such cowardice. Alright. Easy ghost win. Who next? Speedy. Oh, I am not a fan of Speedy. Oh, I do not like this character at all. Wow, wow, wow. Fist. Evil Pink Menace says shurikens. Nope, incorrect. Fist. Nice guess, though. Unfortunately, you have guessed wrong. And that means that the floor will open beneath your chair, and you will plunge into the dungeon of despair. Goodbye, Evil Pink Menace. Oh, there's a shuriken. Yeah, it works for me. Evil Pink Menace, no, come back! Unfortunately, they are already gone. Just playing our second minus 100 armor character in a row. The problem with this character is that when you turn, sometimes your speed momentarily goes to 0 and your armor goes minus 100. That's the problem with this character. Because then you will just randomly die. It is very, very dissatisfying, to be honest. It has been a while since I played with Thief Dagger, feels like. Haven't I considered never turning? Imagine a mockumentary about a NASCAR driver who realized that you didn't have to turn. That'd be fucking wild. I would watch it. Honestly, a lot of mornings I wake up and feel like I'm watching it in real life. Is Ross Christian the one who wallbanked? That was pretty cool. Do you think he'd ever done that before, or do you think he just like went for it because it worked in video games? Only went for it because he remembered the video game version. He has said this explicitly. Nice. What a cool guy. The driver once saw a speedrun of Mario Kart 64, so they attempted a cheese lap system by driving up out of bounds and looped back to the starting line. Just like immediately did a bug slide left to drive directly into the wall to glitch the respawn. I think 3-3 is probably good. Honestly, I could maybe just go Thief Daggers. Imagine a NASCAR race in real time where that was the race. You didn't even win the race because of it. I don't feel like that's a move you go for if you're second. You're like, well, second seems good enough. Oh, they have turn-based NASCAR. I have played that on stream, I think. I like Ugly Tooth a decent amount. Who's excited about the fast cars this weekend? That's soon, yeah? Because it's in Australia. What day is it in Australia right now? Impossible to say. 3 hours or so. Alright, nice. I will probably be able to watch that live. That'll probably be around about when I end the stream. I do enjoy watching the fast cars. I enjoy watching the fast cars, ironically, because they are so boring. There was a moment in the pandemic where I was just having a lot of trouble getting my brain to turn off. And what I found worked for me after a lot of experimenting was to find like videos or entertainment productions of people doing something very boring and very slow. Like, for example, solving Sudoku, or playing or reviewing a game of chess, or, very strangely, driving a Formula 1 car at 200 miles an hour. It is incredible how boring that is when you watch it on television. When I say that cracking the cryptic is boring, by the way, I mean that in an extremely positive way. I hope you'll understand that that is in no way intended to be a negative criticism of cracking the cryptic. How could chess analysis put you to sleep? It doesn't usually put me to sleep, but it, like, gets my brain away from whatever thing I had been thinking about. In the pandemic, I just had a very uniform life. Like, I just, like, didn't go outside to go do things very much or anything like that. And because of that, if I got stuck thinking about one thing, I would just kind of think about it forever. There was no threshold effect in my life which could get me into a different mode. where I like went to a different space and now there was something else to care about. But I found that like watching somebody analyze a chess game just gave my brain something else to think about. And then once the chess game was over, like I didn't actually care about it very much, so I wasn't going to keep thinking about it. So at that point I'd be like, fresh slate. You do that with my Slate the Spire YouTube videos, perfect way to chill the brain to sleep. Cool. I get it, as somebody who uses videos like mine for that purpose. You purposely look up a 0-0 football game to sleep sometimes. That is so adorable. Oh my gosh, that is... that is just so precious. Makes me want to cry. This is so cute. Football would be too exciting if there was any possibility of the little men on TV actually scoring. So you have to look up one where they don't in advance. I love that. I love that for you. So much. You have seen VOD of Pandemic Jorbs, Lord of Among Us and leader of his own darkness. I don't really know what that means, but I sure played some Among Us in the pandemic. I got it. Nice. Most of my VODs of the pandemic, I look sad. Now I'm gonna... This is a wild thing to say, I think. It's a wild thing to say, and I'm not sure if everyone will agree with me. This might actually cause some ruckus in the chat. I don't think the pandemic was a very happy part of history. Anyway, perhaps you disagree. I don't know. But yes, I certainly sat in a room while 1 million people died in my country. That was certainly a thing that I did. And no, it wasn't very much fun. Also, we never, like, eradicated it? So it's just, like, still here? It's wild looking at the data. Like, you can see how many people anti-vax is currently killing in the United States, and it's like 5 figures or something per year. Kind of wild. Bunch of videos from me from 3 years ago today was fun, actually. Good. Good. Are there more boosters? My last shot I got like 3 months ago, I think. That might be the new booster. I have such poor range. Usually I would take a little muscly dude, but I have a lot of melee damage and I have very poor range, so I'm not going to. You know what? I think 26 speed's enough, and I need range, so let's do this. More people are dying per day than during the peaks of the pandemic. I don't know what that means. I feel like a suspicion of mine is that it has been true that more people are dying this year than were dying last year for almost all of human history. So depending on what you actually mean, I'm not sure that you're wrong. But, not sure about the causality there. Hank Green did a video recently. There was 4 things he had been wrong about in the past, I don't know, 6 months or something. And it was all examples of him, like, seeing some data on social media and believing it, and then realizing that it was actually misrepresenting something later. And I think it would have been a lot funnier if he had said, like, actually it is hopeless to create a positive vibes masculinity YouTube channel, and we have been doing it wrong for all 20 years, and then, like, removed his mask and was Elon Musk or something. That would have been, I think, the coolest thing that had ever happened in content creation. Objectively. Oh well. But anyway, his general point was that it's very easy to read that online, and then it doesn't actually resemble the real world. You want to be a Hank when you grow up? If you don't mind telling me, what's your name right now? Also, you are allowed to change your name. What I'm trying to say is I don't think that this would necessarily be difficult. I'm gonna buy a Gatling laser. I'm allowed to do that, right? I don't have any, like, ranged damage, but I feel like it's probably fine. Is this a horde? There sure are a lot of enemies. I think it's just wave 14 and my build isn't that strong. It's really weird to play Speedy directly after Ghost, because as Ghost it's okay to get hit by things because you dodge. And Speedy has immense speed, so it's actually hard to control your character to not get hit by things. So they both have kind of weird movement. Oh, that was a horde? Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about how that went. Let's see how Gatling Laser does. Everything's dead. Gatling Laser! No! Let the other weapons do stuff too! Fucking Gatling Laser. It's a show-off. No one likes a show-off. depends on what they are showing off. What sorts of things have you seen someone show off recently that you enjoyed? I'm just... How's it going, Flannel Violin? Hey, AJ Fish. Hey, Kilgore. What were you going to say, Flannel Violin? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've corrupted everything good in this world. Too late for Crown, I think. Today your kid drank all the ink out of a marker and she was very proud. Is that stuff like... I feel like that's probably not healthy, but I don't know. It is good to hear that your kid is eating. I guess she died a little inside. You are going to receive an honor that is not bestowed on people lightly. In fact, I don't know if I've ever bestowed this honor on anyone before. I'm going to time you out for an hour. 30 minutes. I didn't have a button for an hour. You can spend the time thinking about what you've done. Have I ever been a Sporkle gamer? I don't know what a Sporkle gamer is. Sporkle is a timed trivia website. Ah, okay. He's a ton of you. Look at my Gatling laser killing everything, pushing everyone around. Taking them for granted. Your max HP is capped at its current value of 69. Okay. Nice. Oh, I have handcuffs and shackles. A while ago, there was a bit of fad at BGG for making board game themed quizzes with Sporkle. Oh, that's what Sporkle is. Yeah, I've done stuff on Sporkle before. Sporkle's where I did the can you name every card and slay the spire quiz. Right? believe so. Jorbs, this is a family stream. Oh, I shouldn't make the 69 joke. Sorry. I've never quite understood what it means. Hey, plebiscite! I think a lot of people will yell at me for my video on delayed variable rewards. I am anticipating so many people yelling at me. Which is too bad. Is this a precise weapon? Legendary heavy. Alright. How long can you politely put off reading a book someone lent you before it's awkward? I think that if someone lends you a book, it can't be with an expectation that you read it. Reading a book takes a long time. I think that's on them. I mean, I don't think it is on them because they haven't done anything bad to you either, but like, I don't think it's awkward. I think it's as simple as like, oh yeah, I had other things that I did instead of reading an entire book. Which, you know, I feel is generally normal. I have been the person asking other people to read a book quite a lot recently because I published a book last year. And so I reached out to lots of people to ask if they would like to read it as like early readers to give feedback and the like. You definitely cannot get upset at somebody for, you know, choosing to instead do the other things that are important in their life. This is the final shop. Was a good buck? Thank you. Gatling laser sure made this run just completely irrelevant. Alright, cool.